Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna be giving you the ultimate beginner's guide to Ambessa. I'm gonna try to keep it simple, as this is a beginner's guide. But as you may have guessed, this champion has some incredible combos, as you just saw on top right here. So I'm gonna try to keep it easy, but I'm also going to get into the more advanced stuff. Timestamps are in the description. I'm going to explain to you how to build her. There are some crazy builds you can go. I'm going to explain some combos. I'm going to explain playstyle. And of course, I'm going to give you a basic understanding of how all of this works. First things first. What type of champion is Ambessa? She's a berserker. So what a berserker is, it's a champion that wants to fight and that wants to keep fighting. This is very, very important because her whole kit is built around fighting and not necessarily running away. I'll get to that. So first things first, her passive. Drakehound's Step. Ambessa's next attack within 4 seconds of triggering feint has increased range. What does triggering feint mean? When you use an ability, you trigger feint. So as you can see, my range currently is this far. It's really not that much. But whenever I hit an ability, as you can see, boom. Any ability I hit, my next basic attack, boom, is gonna have bonus range. And as you can see, it is quite a lot of bonus range. Like, it's a lot. So this is the first important thing to understand. You get bonus range after using an ability. This basic attack that has bonus range is gonna do bonus damage on an enemy. It's gonna do a flat amount of bonus damage, as you can see over here, 108, plus a percentage of the target's health. So this means you're also going to be hurting enemy tanks quite a lot. This is the most important thing. You're going to do bonus damage and you restore energy. Now, why is this the most important thing that I'm talking about? Let me explain to you why this is important. So I'm going to turn off zero cooldown and I'm just going to try to play around with my abilities, and I'm not going to use basic attacks. Look, I literally just ran out of energy. And look at how long it takes for my energy to restore. Look at this. I can only start to restore it again properly after I hit my basic attacks after the abilities. Why is this important? You can dash over walls, right? You can try to run away from an enemy, but now I don't have any more mana. Energy, I should say. So what the point of this champion is sure, you can maybe dash like once and to try to run away. But what are you going to do after that? You can dash once and then what? You're going to run out of energy. The point is, you're not going to run away. You're gonna fight. Boom, boom. As you can see, this is how I can maintain my mana. You see, now I can spam my abilities because I keep hitting them with the empowered basic attacks. This is the most important thing you gotta understand about this passive. Especially because I'm level 15 right now. When I'm lower level, this energy restore is gonna be even less. Which means if you try to run away and you lose your energy, you are screwed. So, more thing, feint. Upon casting an ability, Ambessa dashes a short distance in the left joystick's direction. What does this mean? Let me show you what it means. I'm going to explain the abilities, of course, but whenever you use each ability, look, I'm running to the right. If I use an ability, boom, I'll dash. You see, I'm going to turn on zero cooldown again. I'm running to the left. If I use an ability, sorry, I'm running to the right again. If I use an ability, boom, I dash. If I run to the left, I use an ability, boom, I dash. Any ability will dash you, even your ult. If you miss your ult, which is kind of a funny thing. So any ability you use on this champion is gonna allow you to dash. Of course, if you do not move around, you do not dash. And you have to instantly dash. So if I don't dash instantly, I will not get it. So you have to keep moving while using your abilities constantly. So that's the passive of Ambessa. Now let's talk about the first ability. There's a lot of reading over here, but I'm gonna summarize it for you. This is basically the same as Darius's first ability, but only half of it. So, regarding the damage. So as you can see, you see that little circle? On the inner edge, it does a little bit of damage. On the outer edge, it does more damage. And it shows you the bonus damage with that crit animation, as you can see. Now, if you miss this, that's it for the ability, right? That's gonna be it. If you hit it, you get another one, which goes like this. This one is easier to hit, because this one is going to do the full damage as long as you hit it. However, it's only going to do the full damage on the first enemy you hit. As you can see, only this dummy is going to take the bonus damage. So this one slices like this. It can do bonus damage to everyone. But the second one is much easier to hit, but it only does the bonus damage on the first target you hit. Something else important to understand about the second part of the first ability. I'm gonna skip a lot of stuff because it only tells you how much damage it does and all of that. I'm gonna talk about this part, however. The second part, the first target that hits, I just showed you, the first target you hit takes the bonus damage. But it takes bonus damage based on their missing health. So the second part of the first ability, this one, so if I hit this one is a finishing move. Boom! If the enemy has little HP, you're gonna be able to finish them off with this one. Very, very important to understand. Also, the second one slows the enemy. I have a lot of tips to give you on how to utilize this ability, especially in lane, so I will get to that later along in the video. Now let's talk about the second ability. This ability is probably going to be one of the highest skill abilities in the game. Let me have a sip of water real quick. But Hells, why? Isn't this just an ability that gives her a shield, you know? Guards herself a showdown, gaining a shield? Isn't that kind of a brain dead ability? Isn't it like Riven's third ability? No, because let's keep reading. It gives you a shield for 1.5 seconds. First things first, let's take a look at that. Boom. Obviously you can dash, right? So it gives you the shield for 1.5 seconds. Now, what's so special about this ability? Let's keep reading. You build up energy for 0.5 seconds, okay? Before unleashing a shockwave that does damage to nearby enemies. What is this energy that we're talking about? What is it? As you can see, there's indeed this ½ second duration. I have the shield, but after that ½ second it does damage. Now this damage, if the shield absorbs damage from enemy champions, large monsters or enemy turrets, the shockwave damage increases to 379 damage instead. It does more damage than this. So as you can see, using this ability to counter any form of damage that's coming from the enemy team allows you to do more damage with it. So if I would have hit enemies like this, I will do more damage to them. So my point being is, you want to use this second ability when you're about to take damage, for the reason that obviously you're shielding the damage, but it will do more damage. You're increasing your damage on the enemy. So this is sort of a countering ability. You want to counter damage that you're about to take. Because not only are you tanking it, it fuels your damage and it allows you to do more damage. Third ability. This one I want you to think about like a Samira second ability, but without the projectile blocking. It is the same damage-wise. And it feels the same too because you can dash with it. So as you can see, you just slash around you. That's literally it. However, if you're moving to a certain direction, boom, boom. It has 2 dashes. Boom, boom. And good thing you need to know as well is, if you keep your eyes close to here, just keep your eyes on the Conqueror stacks for me. Boom, boom. It gives you 2 Conqueror stacks. So it's a very, very easy way to start accelerating your Conqueror stacks up as Ambessa in the beginning of the fight. So this ability, that's honestly it. You just slash and dash. That's it. It has a massive slow, by the way. 99% slow for 1 second, which is almost a root. And when Drakehound, what is that? When Drakehound's step is triggered after casting, whatever it says over here, basically it's saying you're gonna cast this ability again when you dash. So as you can see, boom. If you don't dash, be careful, it's not gonna cast it again. If you get stunned before your dash, it's also not gonna cast it again. Now let's talk about the ultimate. And this ability is crazy. So you can kind of see this as a Yone ultimate. It's sort of similar in a sense. Let me explain to you in what sense it's similar. So let's read through it. First, we're gonna read through the passive, because the ultimate gives you a passive. What did I just do? What did I just do? I cannot stop. Okay, there we go, I fixed it. So, Ambessa's champion takedowns, within 3 seconds of damaging them, will give her back her full energy. So this means, you remember what I told you about the energy? You don't want to waste your energy. If you can get a kill by dashing to an enemy, you're going to restore it to full HP. Also, you get healed based on your missing health. And you're gonna reset all of your basic ability cooldowns, which is obviously incredible. What this tells you to do is you gotta do what the hell it takes to get a takedown, because it's worth it. You're refunding everything after you get that takedown. Now the active of the ultimate. So what happens when you click on this ability? You seize the enemy champion with the lowest health percentage in the line in front of her and blinks to their location. You're gonna suppress them unstoppably for 1 second, and then you slam them on the ground and you do physical damage equal to 400 plus a percentage of the target's missing health. This is like one of the biggest executing abilities in the game. If an enemy is low HP, they are screwed. They're gonna die. So the way it works is, it's kind of, as I said, similar as Yone's ultimate, but this is stronger in a single target fashion. So what you need to know, lowest health percent, sorry. You're gonna be able to slash through all of the tanks and get all the way on the enemy that's in the backline with this ability. This is the best way to catch someone in the backline. So you can catch them and then do all the stuff you can do. Or you can use this ability to finish off an enemy, because it does damage based on missing health percent, or sorry, the lowest health percentage. So few things to note about playing Ambessa. So when you're playing Ambessa on lane, something I want you guys to understand is if you miss your first ability, it shows you a cooldown of 3 seconds, right? And if you hit this, and then you hit this, it still shows you a bit of a cooldown. However, do you know that the cooldown works? The cooldown is set after you've used your first part of your first ability. Why is this important? Look, boom, you can run around, hit this basic attack, and you'll have another one. As you can see, my cooldowns are not on 0 cooldown. So the first tip I have for you guys, the moment you've maxed your first ability and you've gotten it to a low cooldown, honestly, even early on in the game, you can surprise enemies by using your first ability early, holding your second part and then using it, and then you'll have it again. You can do the same thing if you want to. Boom, 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 boom. You see that? I'm not playing 0 cooldown. I'm playing, you can do this in a normal game. So that's the first important thing you need to understand. Secondly, we're gonna talk about flash combos. This works. Oh, wait, I have to turn on 0 once again. So this works, and this works. You can flash combo both of them. This works, but it's a little bit weird because you can also dash, but you can dash it and then you can dash it. Look, it's a little bit awkward, and then you can flash it. You're very unlikely to use this because this doesn't really do much. It doesn't slow them or anything, but I just want to say you can do it. This, wait, you can flash it. It's a very awkward ability to flash, but it works. Give me a second. It's a very, just don't do it. Like this one, it already goes like this. Just don't do it. As you can see, it works, but I highly don't recommend you to try to do it. Because I was trying to do it, and I was like, is it working or not? So it is working, but it's super awkward. Also, you cannot flash your ultimate. It does not work. So let's talk about a couple of combos that you need to understand with Ambessa. I'm not going to get too deeply into this because there's a lot. So first things first, if you're trying to surprise an enemy, I'm going to put a dummy over here because it's like the easiest way to surprise an enemy. The easiest way you can combo them is using your third ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack, first ability. Okay? Now let's do it a little bit more quickly. I dashed the wrong way, you see? You gotta be careful with this to not dash the wrong way. There we go, and then basic attack as well. The dashing part, after you surprise an enemy like this, they're likely gonna run away, right? Like let's say this dummy runs away this way. The way you can then follow them up, basic attack, and then when you hit this, you go after them, right? You go after them, you basic attack them again, and then you hit this first ability again. If the enemy stands still because they're stunned, basic attack, you're just gonna stand still and boom boom. Now I didn't hit the empowered first ability here. You do want to hit the empowered first ability here. So boom boom, you want to have this hit at the right angle and you have to be quick with it. Like you can't do it like this where you kind of try to aim it right. No. You gotta be instant. You gotta be instant with that. So, when you're about to take damage, you can include your second ability in this. And the way you want to use your second ability is in between your first ability. Okay, this sounds a little bit complicated. Let me show you slowly. Third ability, basic attack. First ability, basic attack. Second ability, basic attack. And then you're going to use that other first ability. So, it goes like this. That's the combo. This is a bit of a semi-all-in combo. Let me show you again. Third ability, basic attack. This one, boom, 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 boom. And you want to use basic attacks in between everything. And the craziest part about this is you can dash through walls while you're doing this combo. Dash, dash back, and dash back over the wall. This is all possible. Like your imagination is where it ends. You can do your combos wherever you want. You can even engage through a wall, obviously. Boom, boom. Disengage through a wall. And then, oh wait, I want to engage again. Boom, boom. You have your first ability again. Wait a minute, never mind. Boom, boom. Oh wait, I do actually want to go back and boom, boom. Crazy, right? She can do all of that. All of that. So, let's talk about a big ultimate engage, which is ult, new basic attack, and then first ability, basic attack, another first ability, and then if the enemy tries to run away, you're gonna slow them with this. Okay, now let me tell you about a different one. This combo that I just showed you is good if the enemy is very mobile or if they have flash to run away. So like if you engage on a Lucian, you knock them up here, basic attack, first ability, they're gonna try to run away. You're gonna use your third ability to slow them, and then you're gonna use that other part of the first ability to hit them, because this one slows as well. If you're against an enemy that cannot run away, you're not really gonna bother much with your third ability. You're just gonna ult them. Basically, okay, something you want to be careful of when you ult them, you can choose to not move. Because if you're dashing, like if you have your joystick somewhere aimed, you gotta make sure that you either aim it backwards, so like I aim it to the right now, so I go into the enemy, or you don't do anything at all, so you're right on top of the enemy. Because if you ult them, and you use your joystick this way, look, you're pushing yourself out of the fight. Same way if you do it this way, of course you have to do it the other side, like that. This is how you can stay right next to the enemy. I generally recommend to not do anything, because what's gonna happen then is you're gonna put the dummy exactly in the range of your first ability. Let me show you with an isolated dummy what I'm talking about. So if I don't do anything with my joystick, let me show you. I'll put him here, and this allows me to hit them with a critical shot for free. So what it allows me to do is a big combo. So ult, basic attack if you want, first ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. I'm not sure what the hell happened and why I'm not getting my empowered attacks. There we go, now I'm getting it. What the hell? That was a bug or something. So let me try to do it again. Ult. Okay. Why is it not working? I have to dash. That's why. Okay. I forgot about that. You have to dash to get the empowered attack. Wait, is that written in there? Upon casting an ability, Ambessa dashes a short distance in the left joystick direction. Ambessa's next attack within 4 seconds of triggering. Ah, okay. So I misread that. That's why I was a bit confused. So after using an ability, you have to actually dash, boom, to get the empowered ability. As you can see, if you don't dash, this is something I didn't actually know. I did my homework, but I missed this part. You have to use the dash to get that empowered attack, which makes the ultimate a little bit awkward because you have a choice. You can either ult and get a free hit like this. Well, the problem is you have to dash after you get this hit. So essentially you would miss out on one empowered attack if you do it like this. Oh, that's super awkward. Oh my god. This champion is incredibly difficult. Because the way you want to do it is you want to ult, you don't want to dash, but then with this one you want to dash, but you also want to hit the crit shot. Oh my god. It's so difficult. Look at it. So this is very difficult. Okay, I'm gonna do it for you guys though. Like that. And then boom, 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 boom. Oh my god, that is so difficult. That is so difficult. I recommend you the easy combo, which is just ulting and using your joystick backwards. And then basic attack, first ability, basic attack, boom, boom. Oh, that is so difficult. That is so difficult. Oh lord, that is so difficult. So, early on in the game, the way you want to play in lane, let's pretend that this is a minion, right? Like, let's pretend this is a minion and this is an enemy. The way you want to do it is, if you get close enough to an enemy, try to at least hit a minion. Like, let's say I'm trying to hit this guy. If I miss him, let me show you. Like, let's say I miss him, at least I hit a minion and I can dash to him and then boom. So while you're in lane, if you try to poke an enemy, try to at least hit a minion. Or you can just hit a minion, dash, and then boom, boom, boom. You get 2 empowered attacks, so boom, boom, basic attack, basic attack. It's a nice little way to poke the enemy, which you can also do if the enemy is very dangerous. You can do this, boom, and then when you hit this one, boom, you go backwards. So let me show you again, like that, to disengage and just poke the enemy for free, like that. You can do it very quickly. That's a little combo in lane 2. Also, when you're hard engaging on an enemy and you know they're about to damage you, boom, this is how we engage. But after you engage with your second ability, I don't want you to try to run around and hit your first ability. After you engage with your second ability, you use third ability, you get out of range, and then you use first ability and you get back in range. The reason being is because if you try to sort of navigate around with your first ability, you see I missed it. It's a little bit difficult because you have to waste a little bit of time to position yourself correctly. However, when you use your third ability, you can automatically position yourself correctly and simply auto-aim your first ability. So let me show you again. Second ability, yeah, and then third ability and auto-aim your first ability, okay? Basic attack and then the empowered one. So let me show you again. This is very important. Auto-aim, boom, boom. You see? I'm gonna show you again. If you can just get close enough with your second ability, and I'm using basic attacks in between everything too. Look, I know this is not beginner friendly. I know this is gonna be one of the craziest guides I've ever released on my YouTube channel. But this is gonna be what it takes to master this champion. You're gonna have to be able to do these combos. You're gonna have to be able to land this first ability with the crit part. You're gonna have to be able to use your basic attacks in between everything while reliably hitting your abilities. Also, you're gonna have to be able to not run out of energy constantly, because if I don't have any cooldown and if I use my abilities without anything, I am immediately run out of energy. I have nothing left anymore. And you have to be able to stay alive to get to the late game. So there are more combos, but I'm not gonna tell you guys them because I think I've told you enough about the combos. What I'm gonna tell you now is how to build Ambessa. Also, I'm doing a skin giveaway, giving away 3 skins this month, and all you have to do to enter is just put down a comment under this video, like always, and give this video a like. You know what? If this video reaches 1,000 likes, I'm gonna make an Ambessa video this week. Screw it, I'm just gonna do it. So, there's 2 Ambessa builds you need to know. This is the one that I recommend in the Baron lane. In the Baron lane, you're likely going to be against sort of a tankier enemy. However, Divine Sunderer is not recommended on Ambessa. Trinity Force is a lot better. I recommend you to go for armor boots or magic resist boots. Generally armor boots. Trinity Force, Black Cleaver. It's super easy to stack Black Cleaver on Ambessa. You need to remember, Black Cleaver and Trinity Force now have a different passive for movement speed, which means it stacks on top of each other. All of this movement speed stacks on top of each other, which makes you one of the fastest champions in the game. Next up, Starrick's Cage, one of the core items of Ambessa. She has a very high base AD as well. Armor on Twinger to become an absolute menace in the late game. And then lastly, we go for Death Stance. She already has an integrated Death Stance in her ultimate, but building another Death Stance on top makes it even stronger. Let me tell him that I'm just making a video. Making with 5 min. So yeah, for the runes, when you go for this build, you go for Conqueror and the Precision Tree. We want to be tanky in the Baron lane. We go for Nullifying Orb, Second Wind, because in the early game Ambessa is actually quite weak, just so you know. She only gets strong in the late game, so Second Wind allows you to survive the early game. Overgrowth or Perseverance. Please go for Perseverance if they have a lot of CC, because CC is one of the hardest counters to Ambessa. Another thing that counters Ambessa is long-range enemies like Milio, like Caitlyn, and enemies that can kite you easily, like Vayne that can just push you away. like Ziggs, you know, that kind of stuff you don't want to pick Ambessa against. Lastly, we go for Brutal. In the early game, you can just destroy the enemy with Brutal in the lane. Not necessarily destroy, but you can match them. At least you can try to do something with the Brutal. The reason Brutal was very good is because after every dash you do after an ability, you're gonna have an empowered basic attack with bonus range, which means every time you can proc Brutal with that, which does even more damage. And you go Ignite and Flash in lane. In the jungle, I have a ridiculous build for you guys. You can go for a similar build in the jungle if you want, but I have an insane build which will be like a crazy one-shotting Ambessa build. It goes as follows. You go for Boots of Dynamism, so your abilities will do ridiculous damage. Yumo's Ghostblade, Trinity Force, Dusk Blade of Draktar, the Collector. She already has damage based on enemy percentage missing HP. Now imagine having a Collector on top of that too. And then we go for a Mortal Reminder for even more damage. It's all over here. This is a spicy build, and only the best of the best Ambessa players would be able to pull this off, because you have to snowball, and you have to be able to position properly, and you pretty much always have to use your shield properly, because that's going to be the only form of tankiness and survivability. And with this build, you're going to go for Conqueror anyways, because Ambessa is one of the easiest champions to stack Conqueror with. We go for Sudden Impact and Powered Attack for the one-shotting. Here we go for Eyeball Collector or Zombie Ward, whichever one you would prefer. And then Giant Slayer or Cup of Grass if the enemy is very, very squishy. And then of course you go for Smite and Flash. So that's gonna be it for the Ambessa video. I hope my research was good enough for you guys for this guide. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give the video a like, and I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.